For many years now, Russ and Craig have had many wide-ranging conversations with folks from all over the gaming world. This is one of those conversations.
D6G, the Lost Chapter.
Once again, I have to, so is there one Dunkin' Donuts at the center of the universe, or is that all Dunkin' Donuts are linked, by an infinitesimally small wormhole at the door, so that you, walk in one, but you end up in another, and we always end up in this one? And who's going to end up in this one with us today, Russ? Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Who's that over at the counter?
Is that Stephen Buonocore? Stephen, how are you?
He smells vaguely of Essen.
Yes. You can sort of smell the Essen of him. So
somebody went to Spiel and smelled it.
That's right. As they'll find out when they listen to the main episode. I smelled it and dealt Essen or something.
Oh, geez.
Oh, hey now.
Hey.
Oh.
So, Stephen, what do you enjoy for your favorite donuts there? What's your favorite flavor?
With all due respect to Dunkin' Donuts, I try to stay out of Dunkin' Donuts.
What about coffee?
I loves me my coffee. I loves me my dark roast coffee.
So what coffee? Do you make your own coffee? Do you not deign to go into a Dunkin' Donuts for coffee?
I make my coffee at home. I grind my own Starbucks Sumatra beans at home for the most part, or a nice French roast.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Dunkin' Donuts. I prefer the richer coffees of the Starbucks. But
firmly hoisted into the air.
But if I was in a Dunkin' Donuts, and if I was not on a diet, which I'm always on, I would have one of their lovely chocolate donuts, because they are delicious. They are tremendously delicious. Those chocolate glazed donuts are out of control, but the calorie count is probably a little bit out of my range.
It is a little high. And so do you use the coffee press? How do you brew your coffee?
No, I don't, and I probably should use one of those artsy French presses.
If you're gonna
do make phenomenally great coffee, but no, I grind the beans with a little Mr. Coffee and use a little automatic drip kind of style. But
well, Stephen, since you're here and you're enjoying no coffee or donuts, I just thought, it's November, Craig. I don't know if you noticed this.
I did notice that. It's been so for 2 days.
The holidays are fast approaching at breaking.
Holidays are here again.
Yes.
It's time for pumpkin spice again. Yeah,
that's right.
Okay.
So now that Halloween is behind us and we move on to Thanksgiving, and
baby.
Thoughts of Black Friday and the holiday season, shopping season is really already underway.
We're going to have to do Black Friday before Black Friday, because we will be in England on Black Friday.
Yes.
And we will be flying on an airplane, and I'm going to have to be popping my top button on the airplane.
What?
Yeah, we're going to England.
Who's going to England?
Why are you
Russ
popping
and
your
I
top button?
going to England.
Why are you popping your top button?
Wow.
Yeah, we're going to visit SteamCon over there in Jolly, England, and visit our friends.
Steam Forged Games is
flying
us over.
We're going to go over there, check it out, and we're going to enjoy some fine Guild Ball tourney action. It's going to be fun.
Right. We are either rising into the next level, or this is a wicked outlier.
Yeah, it's probably the latter.
I think it's the latter.
I think we've peaked,
but it's
honestly.
very nice.
You know what? We'll try. So it's going to be great. We're going to really enjoy that. But for those of you not traveling to England, you're probably thinking, what am I going to go shop for? For the holiday season. And I'm thinking, it might be kind of fun to chat about this a little bit. So what kind of things are on your holiday list, Stephen? What are you really excited to either get, or what are your geeky friends getting, and what are they thinking about for this holiday season?
I don't have my finger on the pulse of geeky gifts there, Russ.
What?
I mean,
how do you not?
I've got too many board games to buy, and
that's what I'm asking. What board games would you, if your wife was like, Stephen, we got to go shopping for this stuff, what would you get?
If they had to get a game, they should get a Schrumpel game, of course. But and since Terraforming Mars is sold out everywhere,
well, there's your problem. So they can't get Terraforming Mars.
And even I wouldn't tell them to go out and pay the $125 that people are now charging on Amazon for. I'm crazy with that.
Well, of course you wouldn't. You probably have a couple copies in your closet.
Right.
Well, I do. But, they can buy a Great Western Trail. They can buy a Fuji Flush. There's a lot. it's like 7 new releases from Stronghold, but I don't really want to push those too hard. Russ, tell us, because you're pushing us there, what geeky goodness would be on your list?
I don't know. I have many. The list is way too long, actually. So
really,
it's tricky because, well, it's like, and some of them are hard to find. So, for example, like is it Mechs and Minions?
Yeah,
that thing looks insane, right? I mean, the components in that game. Someone came to our gaming store with this thing the other day, and I was like, "Oh my god! Like, can you have better box control? Like, I don't even know how. Have you seen this game, Steven, up close?
I have not seen it in person, but I've seen unboxing videos like the Tom. It's amazing.
It is stupidly overproduced. Like at the point, it's just like it makes a Cool Mini or Not game look like underproduced. It's like I don't even know what's happening there.
Ignacy and I spent a good portion of one of our news segments talking about this game and how they were able to bring this thing out for the price point that they did for it, which essentially was to make no money or to make very little money. Right. But it certainly has a lot of value for what's in the box. And I heard the game is great too. So kudos to them for wanting to do that.
Yeah, I don't know.
They're a $1.6 billion with a B dollar company. So
yes.
They kind of can do what they want.
Yeah, the League of Legends guys made this game. It's just I think it's sort of like a labor of love. They're like, let's just make a board game on the side, kind of thing.
No, that's exactly what they did,
and it does
look amazing.
It's not designed to make any money. I think it's designed to break even, and it's like cheap yet amazingly looking. I have not played it, so I have no idea how good the game is. I mean, I have no idea if it's fun to play, but it looks fantastic. And so
it does.
That kind of game would be on my Christmas list, but that's a tough one to put on your list because you can't really find it right now. I think the first print run's already gone because again, it was stupidly cheap. So
right.
I don't know if I can count that one, but that's definitely one of the ones I would put. Craig, are there certain games you're looking forward to? Like, what would you put on your list?
I don't know, man. Mike,
nothing.
As I have said on numerous occasions, gift giving in my household is really sort of game free. My family has kind of like given up on buying me games, and Karen doesn't want to buy me games. So unless I'm really heavily into something and I say, I really want this, or like I get a gift certificate or something, I don't really get games. And I have nothing on my radar. My radar doesn't really function. My radar is actually Russ. So when Russ gets excited and then then he starts talking about something, then I'm like, oh, that sounds interesting. Until that happens, I got to say, I'm trying to put a moratorium really on most of my game spending right now because I have so many games that are just piling up around me from Kickstarters. I have put in place a Kickstarter moratorium and right now I'm trying to do likewise with gaming in general, just because I've got so much stuff piling up that doesn't get played or it gets played once. And so, yeah, and my ability to play games is really weak right now too. With my gaming group of one, Russ, and Mr. Vice President is always off doing busy work. So
busy work.
Busy work is exactly what it is. I know what it is. And so Russ gets the games, and I'll play them. How's that?
Well, my list. So here's my challenge. So
what is your challenge?
My birthday's in November, and then Christmas falls right behind it. So my family starts asking me, like, what are we supposed to get you? And so I have to think of these things. And one of the things, so I want them to get things that I actually want because they don't like it when they get me something and I don't actually use it. They get very upset with me with this. So what I'm now focused on, and I think this may be useful, I have grown to love my new airbrush. And what I've discovered, my current painting pattern with my airbrush is that I paint in the garage. And that's no good as winter closes because it's cold in my garage. And so that's not really solving my problem. So the good news is I have found this gizmo called the Master Airbrush Portable Hobby Airbrush Spray Booth. All right. So what this
say that 5 times.
Yes. So what this basically is, you think about it's a painting hood essentially, but instead of having to have this thing permanently installed, it's collapsible and portable. So imagine a little plastic sort of area, and behind this is a fan structure with filters on it. And so what you can do is basically spray paint or airbrush in your house in front of this thing, and all the spray paint and the overspray from the airbrush and everything gets sucked into the filters, and you're fine. So you can actually spray in the home. And so this is the thing on my list. It's about $80, so it's not stupid expensive, but it's it's a pricey thing. So it's a perfect birthday/Christmas item. So this is one of the things at the top of my list because I'm really enjoying airbrushing, and it stinks to have to go out in the garage in the cold. In the summertime, it was no big deal. You pop open the garage door. It's a nice summer day. You get some airbrushing done. But in the winter now, I really want to be able to do this sort of thing indoors. And what's also cool is it is portable, so it's kind of a fun way to, if you're going to your friend's house for a painting party or something, yes, I do those, you can go ahead and make one of those things, which is kind of neat. So that's on my list is the airbrush. Now, the other thing I would add, if you are an airbrush, if you're venturing into this world and you're thinking about making your own little Christmas list for airbrushing, I would also add this gizmo that I recently got as a gift that I love, which is an airbrush cleaning pot. Have you guys seen one of these things?
No.
Cleaning pod?
Pot.
Or pot.
P-O-T.
Oh, okay. That doesn't sound as cool.
It looks like a...
Get a cleaning pod.
Well,
Come on.
it looks like a pod, actually. Honestly, it does look like a pod.
Now he's trying to redact.
It's got a glass jar bottom, and it's got a screw on top. At the top's got this little slot where the nozzle of the airbrush can be put in, and then it's got a little holder to hold your airbrush. So when you're not using airbrush, you can put it right in there. And on the back of it's a little filter pod thing. And so if you're trying to clean your airbrush, you just spray it into the pod, and all the overspray goes into the pot, and there's a little vent on it that's got a filter on it that comes out, and it's a quick and easy way to clean your airbrush between when color changes, and it also holds it for you while you're not painting at the moment. So I've really found that to be very, very helpful as well. So that was on my list, and I got that as an early gift, which was nice. So the cleaning, they usually call them cleaning pots, or you'll see them also as airbrush cleaning stations. Those are great, and of course the spray booth as well. So those are a couple things that I really were high on my airbrush list. And of course the other big gift, now this is the large thing I really want, which is I've done a lot of experimenting with various airbrush paints. And my favorite so far is the Vallejo airbrush series of paints. And so I've asked for I experimented with Vallejo, I experimented with Badger, a couple other ones. I tried mixing Privateer, and I really like the Vallejo ones out of the little squirt bottle there. They're pretty much perfect. And how I experimented is bought one or two each color, or not each color, one or two example colors from each range and tried them out. But now that I'm in love with the Vallejo ones, what I'm finding is mixing paints for airbrushes is also a pain because it's just a lot of work. So now I want the entire Vallejo airbrush paint set, and that is not cheap. That's like $250. So that is the big gift that everybody can pitch in to get me, because that's what I really want on my Christmas list also. So I guess.
Well, I think if you're a serious airbrusher, a serious painter,
right? I think that's what
sounds like these are perfect gifts.
These are things. If you are into airbrushing or thinking about it, obviously the paint set's quite a commitment. But the other stuff is not too terribly expensive, especially that little paint pot's like $20 or $15. So good way to try some things out, get some gifts for the painter, the airbrusher in your life, if you have one of those.
Or Russ.
Or me. So, right, if you're thinking of sending something to me, that would be... No, don't do that, because I think my wife and kids are already on this. But anyway, so yes, but I do, those are definitely on the list. What about you, Steve? So you're telling me, Steven, that right now, if you wanted a something for a board game to play, it would only be from your catalog. Are you that shameless?
Something.
Wow. I'm plumbing the depths of shame.
I'm calling you out, Mr. Buonocore.
No, I see. Well, here's the thing. I mean, I tell people, don't buy me anything for Christmas and things like that, or holidays. I'm a simple guy, and I'm okay, and I get my own stuff, and I keep people away from like spending on me. But you know what I like to do during the holidays? I like to get together with people. As you know, I might be a social kind of guy, right?
Yeah, right.
Might be a social kind of guy. So every year I organize and coerce, cajole, and otherwise force people to come down to my annual geek holiday gathering in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Mm-hmm. Every year. We've been doing this for like 10 years. This is like my gift. If people want to, and I'll put a shout out to anybody who's listening who wants to hang out for a few days in Atlantic City, New Jersey with a bunch of geeks. they can come and join me. You can drop me a note, and we're going to be down
When
there.
do you typically do this? I mean, don't give me an exact date, but is it like the beginning of December? Is it more of a New Year's, early January
It's the
sort of
weekend before Christmas. We do it. So this year it's always the opening. And here's the thing. It's always the opening of a geek movie. So it's perfect. Yeah. So it's, in this case, it's like whatever that, like
Rogue
it's 17th, 18th, 19th.
Yeah.
Right. And this year, Rogue One is opening, right. During that weekend.
Yep.
And at the Tropicana, in Atlantic City, New Jersey, they have an actual IMAX theater. The big domed kind with the huge stadium seating, the real IMAX kind of theaters. And we go down. I usually go down on Thursday night, stay until Sunday, spend time doing geeky things like going to this. They opened up an escape room in the Tropicana in Atlantic City.
Yeah.
We eat a lot. We might imbibe a little. And we might do a little gambling. And in general, we just have a geeky good time hanging out with friends and
that
friends.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
That sounds good.
I'd like to do that. That sounds like a lot of fun. Now, do you rent out like the entire one of the movie theaters there and go watch?
No, we just rent the whole hotel. No,
perfect.
We just tell people I'm
just trying to figure out if you're a geek baller or not. How do you roll, Mr. Buonocore?
No.
Baller? What? Who are you?
I don't know. I simply put a shout out to some of my closest friends. And, hey, and I just put out a shout out to all of your closest friends too. Yeah. So we just basically say, if you want to come down, we're going to be down on Friday and Saturday night.
That's cool.
I go down a little early. I go down Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and we get rooms at the Tropicana and chill out. And it's sort of like it's like sort of the end of the year de-stressing. Yeah. During the holidays, everyone gets stressed out during the holidays, and this is the way that I spend it. And and my friends realize too that they're like, we're not going to exchange gifts with Buonocore, but let's hang out and just have a chill time, where we can simply relax, have some big meals, do a little bit of drinking some really good beer, some nice wine, have some nice dinners, do a little gambling, and go do some geeky things as well, like watch Rogue One in this case, go to play some games. Go to an escape room this year. So that's like my thing that I like to do.
That's awesome.
That sounds awesome. See, that I could. That's what I want, Russ. That's what I want. Holidays.
Right. Get your butts down to Atlantic City on the weekend of the 17th.
Right.
Come on.
I'm marking my calendar. Hey, does Engelstein go to this thing? Because I have to have a serious talk with him in person about politics. So we have to figure that all out. No,
hey now.
No. It's all in good fun. So it's just been interesting. We've been sort of gently. It's almost like when it's like you haven't the high noon whistle hasn't happened in the middle of the street. It's sort of like you're just sizing each up from down the giving them the little squinty Clint Eastwood eyes from across the street. That's where we are right now, and we're really looking, but in a friendly way. So I think we're really looking forward to chatting about this. But we haven't been able to do that because we don't want to cross the line on Facebook because we know bad things happen there. So we're kind of it's really hilarious actually. So I'd love to. And now we're he's going. Are you going to BGG Con? I'm like, no, I can't. I'm like, are you going to Steam Con? He's like, nah. So we're trying to figure out when we're going to next be in the same room, which would be pretty fun. I don't know if this is appropriate.
Engelstein hasn't gone, but this year he's a definite maybe, so he might be there.
All right, write me down as a definite maybe too. That'd be good.
if you put your hat in, we might be able to get him to commit. But he's thinking about definitely going down this year, so it would be his first. He almost went last year, but he had something pulled him away to last minute.
Now I think I want this for my Christmas present too, Craig. I think this is on my list. Stephen, this is a good gift. This is a really cool idea. I like that a lot.
There you go.
All right, now Craig, you're telling your position right now. So we got Stephen actually say what he likes to do on the holidays. So your position is that because your family doesn't buy you gifts, there's nothing you actually want.
No. That I don't really look at holiday time as a time for me to be acquisitional game wise because I know I'm not going to get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I love the idea and the concept of seeing friends and doing cool things, and that sounds. And Karen has tried to do that in the past. Actually, I have passes to go to one of the Five Wits in Boston, which is sort of the original escape room before escape rooms were a thing. and I have passes for several people, and never been able to make it work. I've had them for almost 9 years now. So, I would pay for this if I could just if the gift could just be availability. So that's what I want for Christmas. I want availability. How's that?
That seems fair.
Although a drone would be cool.
What you got to do is you have to set the date and then make it happen. You got to make it happen.
Russ, have we done that? Didn't we just do that, Russ?
We do that sometimes, and it even sometimes works.
We did that in a major way, and it fell through.
Yes.
So, but I'm trying, Stephen. I'm trying.
We're working on it.
I still try to have faith in humanity.
He does. No, but you mentioned drones, Craig. So,
yes,
is there like tech? Because here's what I'm wrestling with right now. Like, I feel like there's a few things that are changing that I kind of should try. But I'm kind of a technology nerd anyway, so I don't know if either Stephen, if you or I know Craig's kind of on the edge of this really, but I don't know how you feel about this, Stephen. But like, I feel like drones are mature enough now where I kind of feel like I should have one to play with. And
you should have
I feel like I should.
I feel like I really need one now.
Well, my daughter and I each have a little mini drone. So for her birthday last year, she wanted a drone. And I got her one of those little micro drones. You know, have you seen these guys? They're 4 propellers, but they're tiny. They're like the size of, I don't know, a little bit bigger than a matchbox, right? And they fly around, and they're pretty actually reasonably easy to control. So I got one too, and we fly them around the house. But I kind of feel like we need one of those large ones that kind of like you can kind of say go over there, and it just does it on its own. It's got gyroscopes in it and it's auto stabilizing. I don't need that, but I kind of feel like I want one, and I don't know really why exactly, but I feel like it's almost at a point now where you should have a drone of your own. I don't know. What do you think about, Stephen? Do these things sort of appeal to you, like really geeky stuff like drones?
They absolutely appeal to me on the most geeky level possible. Like that, and there's this commercial like I've been seeing on, I don't even know what channel it's on, but it's a commercial for one, and they're showing kids like playing with this thing,
right?
And you can put on VR goggles, and it's got a
right,
well, not VR, but it's like goggles that you see the thing as it's flying, and like so you can see what it's looking at. Have you seen this thing?
Yeah, I have.
It's amazing. So like you're like now basically flying in the thing. Right. I forgot what it's called. I mean, I literally was watching, I don't know, Walking Dead or something like that last night, and I'm watching this thing I'm like, oh my God, I think I might have to get this stupid thing. I don't know what I would do with it other than like torture my cat or something like that.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Well, I guess
that's not nice.
I think
it's not nice. I love my cat.
Well, that's kinda mean. That's what that is.
Yeah, there's like 3 technologies right now that I feel like I'm an old man because I don't really own any of them. So the first one is drones, the second one is 3D printing, and the third one is VR. So I don't actually have any of these 3 technologies, well, except for the smallest of toy drones, which I don't really count. But the fact that I don't own an actual, decent drone, I don't have any sort of VR in my house right now, and I don't have a 3D printer, I feel like I'm behind the times. As someone who kind of grew up with lots of tech in his house, I don't know, do you any of those things appeal to you guys, or am I just because I'm a tech junkie and I'm just weird that way?
I think that 3D printers are just, I mean, the really good ones are simply too expensive to have around.
Yeah.
And the cheaper ones will make a nice whistle if you want it or something. It doesn't,
right. Yeah,
it doesn't really do anything. It doesn't do enough. I mean, is it cool? Yeah, but you got to get value for your money on some level, right?
That's true.
You know what I just invested in, so to speak? I mean, I invested in one of those cool game tables.
Oh,
right?
You did? So tell me. So this is perfect. So this is the kind of thing that's also on my stupidly expensive but want to have list. So tell us what you got? What'd you do?
Well, okay, and I'll give a shout out to boardgametables.com. Mm-hmm. I think that's what it was, what the name of the company. Yeah, Board Game Tables. Sure. They did a Kickstarter and for a low priced but
I almost got one of those.
Yeah, but really beautiful table. Now, look, with all due respect to Geek Chic, and they were the first, and their tables are amazing. They're very expensive.
Right.
So boardgametables.com, they did one. They've had lower price tables to begin with, but then they did a Kickstarter, and they basically said we're gonna do this thing in a big way. We're gonna hopefully get thousands of people in, and we're gonna blow it out, and you can put add-ons and stuff like that on it. and I broke down and I backed it. In fact, you mentioned Jeff Engelstein. He also has wrestled with these things that do damn expensive. Where I can just go buy another table. Why don't I spend $5,000 on a table? I can spend $500 on a table just fine.
Right.
So he also broke down and got one as well. Unbeknownst to me, but we both mentioned it to each other during the thing. Like, oh, you're getting one. Oh, I'm getting one.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, it's just a beautiful, perfect gaming table, about 6 feet by 3 feet, and it's recessed, and then you could turn it into a dining table or whatever you want. It's got all those great things that all the $5,000 tables, but now all out with all the extra pieces on it. Came into like under $1,000. So I was very happy with getting that. I guess that's very geeky goodness. So
that counts.
I'm happy.
Now, did you?
I think that counts.
Did you receive it already and take the?
No. It's earliest delivery December, but depends on where you are in the pecking order, so to speak. Probably sometime in first quarter of 2017, and excited about getting it. But it's geeky, I think, to now take that hobby to the next level, to actually create furniture around.
It's totally
your
geeky.
hobby.
We have a friend of ours, a couple actually, who just bought a new home, and they got a Geek Chic table. They ordered it at Gen Con 2015, and it literally just arrived for them a couple days before their Halloween party. And I was over there, and it is a most impressive table. I mean, it looks. And I know we've all seen Geek Chic up close at Gen Con before.
They're amazing.
Just seeing it in the home like that, laid out, with people actually playing games on it, it's one of those things that if you're a serious gamer, I know they're stupid expensive, but I would love to have one too, and I just can't justify even a. I still feel like my kids are not. They're old enough now to probably not damage it, but I feel like I don't know. I just can see this soda spill happening and be like, no, So.
You can see it in your mind.
I know it
like,
replays over and over again, like in a slow motion. Oh my god, sort of way. So that's kind of scary.
No, I'm excited. I'm excited about it. Certainly, like anything. The funny thing is, I don't know if you guys even know this. I'm potentially leaving New Jersey. Yes, I'm going to be taking the Northeast out of Buonocore at some point.
What?
Yeah.
Where are you moving to?
Well, it's still vaporware, as we say in the IT industry, right? But I'm leaving New Jersey for better climate and better taxes. Let's just put it that way.
Oh, there's
Florida.
True. There we go.
Well,
you going to Florida?
Florida is my destination. So I'm getting a new piece of major furniture, on the eve, and I say on the eve because I don't have a date yet, but it's within the next, say, 1 to 2 years.
You're just pandering. Just pandering to Vassal so we can review your games faster. I know.
Yeah, that's obviously. I want to be closer to the guy who mocks me incessantly. That's obviously the answer. No, that is not the reason, and it's not even because Zev's down there, my good buddy Zev. In fact, I wouldn't even be near either one really. I'd be on the ocean side, probably in the north of Lauderdale.
Florida's actually quite a big state. For those who don't know,
it's a very big state.
It looks
so there's
small
plenty of room for all.
You go down there, and you're like, "What the? This thing's huge." Yeah. Well, that's exciting news. Well, thank you for announcing that.
Yeah, little breaking news right there.
Exactly right. Exactly. So is that it for new stuff? I that's mostly the big stuff I'm excited about. There are some other miniature stuff I want, but I honestly got to finish painting, so I'd rather get the airbrush stuff first. Honestly,
I'm going to mention something.
Yeah, you got a lot of work to do.
I do. Go ahead, Steve.
I want to mention something that you guys, because we're just talking about geeky things and stuff like that. Not that this is like something to buy or anything like that, but you guys, last time I was on this show, you guys got me into a conversation about geek TV, and movies.
What are you watching?
Dude, it's your damn fault that you sucked me into every one of the sci-fi shows that were out there.
Oh, that's good stuff, though.
All right. Every one of them, your fault, both of you. Dark Matter, Killjoy,
good stuff. Good
and
stuff.
The Expanse. Oh my God,
Expanse is awesome, right? Yeah.
They were so good. I am dying to see the next season of The Expanse. Right there. That's my 2017 gift to myself to be. I'm gonna want to. I can't wait for that Expanse to come out. So I'm gonna watch the second season. I watched 2 seasons since we talked. 2 seasons of Dark Matter, Killjoys, Plus all the other great stuff that's on TV: Shield, Flash, Arrow, Gotham. Love it.
Gotham's so good, right? Now, here's one more for you. I don't know if you get HBO, but have you watched Westworld yet?
No, I have not watched it. I hear it's good. I guess it's got to be on the list, but I'm backed up with all other stuff.
And the other one now too that's really good, and I think Craig just found this too, is Timeless. Have you seen this show? Craig, you've watched it now, right?
Oh yeah, I'm all caught up. I loved it.
Yeah, and so it's a well, Craig, you can probably describe it out, but it's a time traveling show. The premise of it is that a corporate, a sort of Elon Musk like character has decided to create a time machine. And in the series premiere, the time machine is stolen by nefarious characters. But fortunately, it's okay. They have another prototype time machine. And so each episode involves the good guys going into the older, slightly broken time machine and trying to chase down the perfect, more quality, high-end model time machine. And these nefarious characters are going back in time. But the way they handle the time travel is so really, really good. Like, they'll go to the Hindenburg, and you think that maybe they're trying to stop the Hindenburg from crashing because it's a Nazi thing, and it turns out the thing they try to do is like totally like not anything anyone would expect, right? But then there's all these repercussions, and you go back to now, and
even when they succeed, there's all kinds of repercussions.
There's changes in the timeline, and like they get back, and things are slightly different, or sometimes majorly different, and it's really, really interesting, compelling, done. The writing's great, the costuming is awesome. I'm really enjoying the show. Craig, I don't know, did it turn out to be as good as I described it?
I loved it. I love the characters. I love that each one of them has a really poignant, compelling story. I love that there's layers, and I love that when you're watching it, you feel like you're getting a really rich experience. It's not like, it's no. And I loved Quantum Leap. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
But Quantum Leap didn't have Quantum Leap was the adventure of the week kind of thing, and it was cool. And there was an arch to it, more or less. This is like there's just this huge convoluted plot that you're just every episode you're just seeing little pieces of, but it all goes together. It's really of a piece. Yep. I think it's great. I think it's my favorite new show of the season. Well, I would say it vies with Westworld for my favorite new show of the season.
Yep. Westworld,
I hate you both.
The other one.
I hate you. I hate you. I hate you a lot.
So there's two more for you, Steven.
Now you have added
Here's
two
one more.
To my list.
Do you get Netflix? Do you get Netflix, Steven?
Yes.
Okay,
I have Netflix.
Add Stranger Things. Have you seen Stranger Things yet?
Yes. Okay. Thankfully, you have not added that. I've already
good.
To that one.
What about Luke? What about Luke Cage?
Luke Cage?
Yeah. All of the Marvel stuff. Yes. So Daredevil. Yes. Jessica Jones. Yes.
All right. Okay. All right.
Okay. Okay.
It was getting serious here, Stephen, for a minute. It's like, what the heck do you do with your free time? Not that you have any, but just saying.
Yeah, I have no. What am I doing with my free time?
He's just got two full-time jobs.
He's just creating,
no big deal.
He's just creating 3 of the top 10 Essen games. No big.
Hey.
Ain't no thing.
Well, ain't no big thing.
Stephen, thank you so much.
Well, thank you for adding to my addiction for Geek TV, which I definitely have an addiction for this.
We'll keep you busy. So thank you, Stephen, so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us here in Dunkin' Donuts. We really appreciate it, even though you don't deign to drink Dunkin' Donuts coffee or eat their food. So
right. So thanks for sitting with us.
Right. I brought my Starbucks coffee.
I know, terrible. Right? Look how high his nose is in the air, Craig. It's like he doesn't want to be in the same room.
Stephen, because we care about you, I'm gonna ask that you kind of bend at the knees as you leave through the door. I don't want you to hurt yourself.
Right. I mean, America,
sprain your neck as your nose gets hit on the door frame on your way out.
America runs on Dunkin', but Stronghold runs on Starbucks. Apparently, it's like a whole different.
Clearly.
Whole different thing. So,
thank you, Tom Vassell. I mean, Craig Gallant. Thank you.
I'll take that. I will be proud to be connected with Tom Vassell, the power broker of the gaming podcast world.
Right. That's right. That's it. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it very much. I love being on the show, as you know. Anytime you want me back, got to keep up the, making sure that I had as many appearances as. That's right.
You have a new goal.
Travis. What's his name?
Terrace from Geek Nation.
Terrace from the Geek Nation. I love the man. I can't remember his name, but I love him.
Steven. We'll get you on the main show here in about a week. Take care.
That's right. Can't wait, man.
And then you'll be all tied up.
That's right.
Oh, perfect timing.
Thanks for purchasing a D6G Lost Chapter. Supporting the show helps it grow.